All right. Welcome, everyone. Wow. Look around you. Maybe by show of hands, for whom is this the first in-person meeting since COVID started? That's a lot. I think that's great. Welcome. So it's really great to see you here. It's really great to see people online as well. This is the hybrid meeting. We have about 350 people in person, about 200 online. We're really going to try to make this proper hybrid and make it meaningful for everyone here. So it is the first Eeid during COVID times that's in person, or at least has an in-person component. And I really want to thank all the organizers for putting this thing together. As we were doing this, things kept on changing, as you all know. It wasn't until February that we actually were clear that we could hire this space for this. So it was kind of, was it going to happen? Was it not going to happen? But here we are. So very excited that we pulled it off. And so a lot of people here on this slide that have helped organize this. Some of them are still in the hallway. But please, when you see them, thank them for putting off a great organization to get this meeting happening. Actually, if you're on this slide and in this room, maybe just raise your hand, stand up so that we can thank you for all your efforts. And definitely make sure to thank the people that are still in the hallway checking in people as we're speaking right now. I told the participants of one of the workshops that I was going to start at 5 punctually. I've already broken that promise. But I will blame the rain, and I apologize for the rain, even though I don't control the rain. We have had a huge number of weeks without any rain here, and I've been wanting rain, just not during this opening event. I don't know why these things happen. But over the weekend, we had 2 workshops, one where we discussed science communication, pandemic scenario modeling, and I really want to thank our instructors for this great workshop. So Karen Lips, Mary McKenna, Sam Whitehead, Noam Ross, Sam Scarpino, and Calista Nongala for teaching us about communication as well as modeling. I think it was a really great experience. So thank you so much for being there and helping us with that. There was also another international collaboration in EEID workshop happening, and that was organized by Anna Benta and Chris Harvell, Sam Shiner, and Lizzie Treadwell. And so thanks so much for organizing that workshop as well. Now, as I'm thanking people, there is really one person I want to highlight who has moved mountains to make this conference a reality. And just to name a few things, answering about 200 emails per day, maybe 500 in the last hour, navigating changing conference space and dorms, booking flights for speakers, canceling flights for speakers, rebooking them for speakers, managing sponsorship money, coordinating workshop preparation meetings, setting up software for registration, abstract submission, ensuring lactation rooms, creating childcare grants, solving what seems to be endless problems with food are just some of the things he has done. So, Todd, if you can come up here. And it's really been a truly remarkable job to pull off all of this during COVID times. And I don't think anyone in this room has not heard of Todd before. And so we want to thank him as organizing committee for all his efforts. That is a 3D printed trophy. And and also a gift card that you can use to take a well-deserved break. So go somewhere nice. You deserve it. Of course, we couldn't pull off a conference like this without sponsorship, and so we have been very lucky. The Hatchery Center for Innovation at Emory gave us space for free for the workshop, and I think all the participants there agreed this was an awesome space. They had sparkling water and swings and a lot of other cool stuff. And it was just a beautiful space. Also want to thank the National Science Foundation for funding a lot of that workshop, as well as the social justice travel grants that we have been able to give to people. And then the MP3 initiative, the IDSTP training program here at Emory, as well as a whole list of Emory sources here that have really been, enabled us to make this conference very affordable and also pay for the EV that allows us to do this online at the same time. So thanks so much for all those sponsorships. And of course, Pete Hudson, thank you for having birthdays. And for those of you who don't know, this all started as a birthday celebration for Pete Hudson, and we're very happy to keep this tradition of organizing this meeting every year. And I think it's also a good time to acknowledge all the scientists, clinicians, public health workers, vaccine developers, supermarket employees, delivery services, and many other essential workers whose work has kept so many of us safe during these trying times and actually got us to the point where we can have this meeting in person again. And I know that many of you in this room have directly contributed to dealing with this pandemic, and many will be instrumental in the future in dealing with future ones. So thank you so much, and please join me in applause for all these people, including yourselves. And I think it's also important that while we acknowledge these successes, I also think we should recognize the many losses that many of us have suffered through this pandemic, the many challenges that we keep on facing. COVID is just one that has directly affected many of us, taking the lives of friends, colleagues, family members, and it's disrupted the daily lives and careers of so many of us, many of you in this room. And it did so, I think, during a very difficult and trying time. And I think it's important to remember that we as scientists are not robots, we are people. And as people, we have had to experience or witness ongoing challenges: racism, police brutality, gun violence, terrorism, wars, stripping away of women's reproductive rights. And I think it's important to recognize that all of these things affect us as humans and as scientists, and that as powerless as we feel at times, and I certainly do that myself, we should keep fighting for equality, social justice, and human rights. Now, we are all here right now at Emory, which is the district that was represented by civil rights hero and US Congress member John Lewis. And while he sadly passed away 2 years ago, his words are still alive today. And let's remember his advice to keep up the good trouble. Now, before we move on to our first session, a few more lighthearted notes and just housekeeping notes. So, on this thing that annoyingly keeps moving around, as some of you have pointed out to me, make sure that people can see who you are. Everyone knows what this looks like by now. Because it's important that they see who you are and how comfortable you are with contact. On the back, that QR code is super handy to go directly to the schedule and the other links that are important for this conference. And things keep on changing all the time, so make sure to check in regularly on this. Second, warning about our t-shirts. So beautiful t-shirt. We had a fantastic undergraduate student, Maggie Weber, who designed this logo, but little did we know that when we ordered them that these t-shirts would be kind of see-through. So I'm wearing it over another shirt. I recommend you do the same. The third, we have a very tight schedule over the next few days, and I have warned people that I am Dutch and I'm punctual, and I already broke that promise, but I'm still going to try to keep people acting on time and, keep us on schedule. So if I sound annoying, it's because I am. All right, and then finally, the masks. I think it's really important to keep them on, and so, let's make sure that we all keep them on at all times, except during meal times. And when it's coffee and drinks, let's do those in the hallways and outside, not bring any in here, so that really in this room, where we're really congregated as a very big group, that we stay masked at all times, and that includes for our speakers. And I guess really the goal here is to keep everyone as safe as possible, but also that I personally would really like to end up with fewer infected people than happened during the last in-person EEID conference at Princeton. And I may add that was not during a pandemic. So we'll take that as a win. Thank you.